Good morning, everybody. Are we ready to start then?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. It's an honor here to present you the next speaker. We are going to have a session on EU strategy and funding schemes for health and well-being. As we all know, raising EU funding, it's more important every day. And our next speaker is here to give us an idea on what is coming in the next years in the European front, so that we can start thinking about our strategy. So we have here Dr. Juan Riese. Good morning.
Morning.
And thank you for coming here to share, to present to us what is happening in the European arena. Dr. Riese is a PhD in chemical sciences from the University of Valencia, MBA by the Polytechnic of Madrid. He has a master in management of research, development and innovation in health sciences. He has been a biomedical researcher for 20 years in Germany and Spain. So he understands very well the area, no? what you are going through. He has held the position as national contact point for health in the Horizon Europe program in the Instituto de Salud Carlos III, and he's now the national contact point for the cluster of health in Horizon Europe. So he will introduce us to this ambitious program that is here to stay for the next 6 years. If you don't mind, if you have any questions, what we propose is that we leave them for the end, so that Juan can just put them in the chat or wait until the end and unmute yourself, and please feel free to ask any questions. So Juan, the floor is yours. Thank you.
So thank you, Carmen. Good morning to everyone. Thank you also, Jerome, for the invitation to be participating to this summer school this year online. But anyway, I think it could be useful for you to be in this session. I would like, as you said, I was telling my research career, so I still keep this soul of being a researcher. Sometimes for me, it's even very, very difficult to understand how the policy is being made in terms of research and innovation. So really, it's challenging to maintain quiet and calm and seeing how science is being managed by the high-level politicians. So anyway, I would like to show you how important are the new trends in this new framework program, Horizon Europe. I will start to make some introduction. What should be Horizon Europe? Then I will come in more inside in the funding possibilities and options for health classes in the topics that are more related to the activities that are covered by VPH. Some opportunities in the WASA cluster, digital industry and space, because we should keep in mind that not all the opportunities are set in this health cluster, but other are also important, and some others that I will not tell today because not sufficient time. Some issues about the European Innovation Council and the future Digital Europe program that I think it could be a very, very important and very interesting for you as researchers. So let's start with a short introduction to Horizon Europe. So I would like to show as an appetizer some examples in most recent calls from the Societal Challenge 1 in the former framework program, the so-called Horizon 2020. Some topics that are related with the focus of VPH. You can see here in silico trials for developing necessary biomedical products, personalized computer models in silico systems, data integration, data-driven in silico models for enabling personalized medicine, new testing and screening methods to identify endocrine disrupting chemicals, exploiting the full potential of in silico medicine research for diagnostic therapies and so on, system approaches for discovering combinatorial therapies for complex disorders, and personalized early risk prediction by using artificial intelligence and big data technology. As you see, in the last years, there were these topics were really a trend for the Commission, the European Commission, and this was reflected in the work program as the call text for health in the last years, but not only until 2019, but also as you can see here when it was also a specific area was developed for topics. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, but we don't see your presentation in a presentation mode, and we're still on the first slide. So okay. Maybe something is happening.
Okay, let me see.
How does it happen if you're with multiple screens?
Let me see. Okay. I will restart it.
Okay, sorry about this interruption.
No, it's true. Okay, and can you see it now?
Yes, yeah, now we can.
Okay, sorry for this. I was not aware of this problem. So, okay. Now, this was the examples I was trying to show you the last year, 2017 until 2020, and well, this was the topics that were included in the calls and where projects were funded in this area, in these areas. So, and what I'm trying now to show that where a new area was also kept in mind by the Commission, and projects were funded on the relationship with the Human Cell Atlas. This was it's an area where it's intended to map human cells and to generate data in order to know how the cells do their work as complex biological systems. So as you can imagine, you need a lot of computation in order to simulate the activities of one single cells. This was a pilot call, and some projects were funded, where here are the examples of funded projects that are from in order to generate an atlas of cell populations that could be also mapped in 3D context, and in order to know how they developed temporally in time, and for example here in the second one, to reconstruct the lung tissue architecture in a 3D dimensional in silico models, or for example this last project here, space, in order to understand how the cells in the human pancreas work and how they integrate in this organ in order to know how they do their activities. Further projects that have been also funded is here a human organoid atlas that I remember there's a colleague from Barcelona that is leading this project in order focusing two organs, colon and brain, but having other organs as pilot studies. Or the other one here, and trying to understand the cellular composition organization of the developing human gonads. And here the last one in this list, in order to know how the uterus change along time from the transcriptomic and genomic level. So you can I leave here the link, so you can learn about this project in more detail. And so, okay, this was what has been done in the last years in Horizon 2020. You see that there was an effort made by the Commission in order to fund projects in these areas. But now in Horizon Europe, shortly to say that the possibility that this is the general structures of Horizon Europe. There are three pillars. You understand Horizon Europe is the main funding program in research and in Europe, and I think it's also in the world, and public funding for sure. And here there are, you can see here three different pillars: excellent sciences for basic science, that we can for sure apply here in the different modalities. There's like the European Research Council or Marie Curie actions, and your areas is a bottom up. It's not constrained in specific fields. The pillar 3 is the European Innovation Council. Another one more interested in more focus on innovation. And in pillar 2, different clusters. I will talk mainly about health, but also on this one digital industrial space to see how these trends that I have shown a couple of minutes ago, they are still there and will be further developed with calls in the next future until 2027. So, just very shortly, what is the funding intended for this program, this new program, Horizon 2020? I have to say that it has not started for the cluster health. It will be still launched on 22 of June in a couple of, well, in 12 days actually. So, and 11 days. So this is very recent that we will have this opportunity then open. Let me say that for the cluster health, that are actually over 7 billion euros in, well, over 8 billion with P billion euros for funding projects. It was more than in the last framework program, which was 7.5 billion euros for the health related area for funding. So I think it's a big opportunity to work to try to apply to support your research lines. So then for sure it's complicated to participate because it's very competitive, but it's not impossible, as you know. So the only thing is that you have to be excellent in presenting your idea and your proposal. So the cluster health is cluster, specifically cluster health, is divided in 6 so-called destinations that are aligned with the strategic priorities of the European Commissions. And so these 6, well, the first one is staying healthy in a rapidly changing society, trying to understand the molecular basis of health and disease, living and working in a promoting environment, and trying to understand which are what is the effect of environmental factors in health, tackling disease and reducing disease burden, which is the destination number 3, to work on the disease progression. Destination 4, ensuring access to innovative, sustainable, and high-quality healthcare, to work on optimizing the healthcare systems. Destination 5, unlocking the full potential of new tools, technologies, and digital solutions for a healthy society, trying to develop the tools that should support the advance in innovations. And last but not least, maintaining destination number 6, maintaining innovative, sustainable, and global competitive health industry, more focus in supporting the industry to keep aligned with the challenges that exist actually right now in the health field. So options to participate. For example, here I'll have make a selection. Well, that is more clear that artificial intelligence, in silico modeling, simulation, and so on, computer simulations are a must in proposals to develop projects. Like here, building a European innovation platform for the repurposing of medicinal products. That are projects, in this case, very big projects, about 25 million euros per project. Only 2 will be funded, but the scope is, among others, to set a platform for sure, and also to in order to try to use already commercialized drugs for new indications, in order that you can avoid a clinical long clinical trials and very cost-intensive of them for new indications. So here, for example, I have underlined or I highlighted that the Commission would like to see in the project how to leverage and pull existing high-quality data assets in the EU repurposing landscape by using pharmacogenomics, in silico, artificial intelligence approaches, and innovative preclinical human in vitro cellular multi-organ validation models. So this is an opportunity that I have underlined that could be interesting for you. Or for example, this one, clinical validation of artificial intelligence for treatment and care. Smaller projects, around 6 million euros, but they're interesting in order to support the clinical development and testing validation based on artificial intelligence for treatment and care options. This is here. I see this is every topic in the call text are divided in expected outcomes. What the Commission would like to see from every project. That in at the middle term, these are the issues that should be focused. And here in the scope, what is to be here, you should work with the patients, with the healthcare professionals for sure, including the proposal to try to work on prognostic issues, inclusion of all the factors that are around every methods for effective use of real-world data and or synthetic data in regulatory decision making and or in health technology assessment. This is a new trend. There are two topics related to synthetic data. Why? Because the computing right now, computing facilities are strong enough in order to do really high performance computing in order to simulate the situation in the biology of a human being translated into a computer. So you can avoid to use data that could be at the end of the day related to one person. So with the corresponding legal troubles, you can imagine if a person could be identified according to the data. But if you can develop synthetic data in silico, you can avoid this hurdle. So, but this is done, and also if you perform or use regulatory issue that have to be developed in parallel in order to be accepted in the future. So this is the first example on synthetic data. The budget is around 70 million euros, 7 million euros for a proposal. And the next one is example on computational models for new patient stratification strategies. So you can organize patients in order sorry, I was here and some interruption. So to use all the tools that are right now can be on the table for research, like omics tool, computational mathematical modeling on diseases, in order to have some models and you can use for clinical trials in order to have patients in groups that you can perfectly be for clinical trials. So the stratification should be based in preclinical and clinical studies. So, and these models should be for sure validated in the framework of these projects. So around 6 million euros. And last example that I would like to show you is again this scaling up multi-party computation, data anonymization techniques, and synthetic data generation is again the field I have explained before, but now perfectly not on taking into account regulatory aspects, but really to develop systems that could be used based on synthetic data generation, and also based on this multi-party computation, and ensuring that the data are perfectly anonymized because they are synthetic. So I think these are some examples that you can see and that you can reflect, and you can think about them according to your own research lines, if they could be interesting for you in order to apply for funding. I think it's a clear message from the Commission that artificial intelligence, the use of high performance computing and the modeling in silico is there and will be further explored, further developed in the health field. So just for some information, if you will work on, you will apply on this field, on these calls, that for 2021 there will be in globally budget for around 1 billion euro, and in 2022 a little, well, it's around 900 million euros. Always consider that the budget that is proposed for every project is a suggestion made based on a round estimate. The Commission has not a fixed limit for budget, but they say always it's a suggestion around this amount the project could be performed. So as I said, the opening is the next 22nd of June, and the deadline will be on the 21st of September. So exactly the summer break will be there and can be used for preparing a proposal. So all topics for 2021 are based on one-stage proposals, and for 2022 the opening will be on the 6th of October this year. The deadline will be on the 1st of February if there is one stage, is the first stage of two stages, or the April 2022 for the second stage, or if there is one only stage in this modality of topic. So important also that in this health cluster in Horizon Europe, that is important that the need to collaborate with other projects existing or that will be funded in the same topic or other. So always who should be kept in mind will be positively evaluated if you are taking this. Cancer is only eligible in almost all topics for call 2021 because the mission on cancer has not been open, and this year is in delay. So it seems that for 2022 it will be then open, and the cancer issues will be then funded by this mission. So other opportunities in cluster 4, for example, digital industry and space. This one, smart and multifunctional biomaterials for health innovation. So this is intended to offer solution new biomaterials to address multiple bottlenecks in response to unmet clinical needs. As you see, it's very open. You can work on every area of the biology or the health issues you can imagine. So this is not a constraint to maybe lung or brain or whatever. So the aim of this topic is to develop a multifunctional biomaterial for the use in advanced therapy, medicinal product, or medical devices, and also to keep in mind that you need in the future regulation, and also to address the GMP issues on good manufacturing practices for the upscaling of the solution, and also for sure that the small and medium-sized enterprises are more than welcome in participating in this call. So another opportunity, the European Innovation Council, it was a pilot in the last year, just last calls of the class of the health program in the Horizon 2020, but now is the European Innovation Council is there. There are two, among others, there are two modalities that I would like to show you in terms of opportunities to participate here. The open calls is the first modality. The first mode is here is the open funding here. That are with thematic priorities that are not predefined, so you can participate in every based on all fields that you can imagine. If you are working in different, you can really participate without constraints, and it's open not only for companies, but there are different options. Sometimes you have to work with consortium-based proposals. So, and the other one here, what I'd like to show is the other modality is the AC strategic challenges. Here, with one of them, these are not bottom up, but there are some areas that are to be funded, as you can see here. But this last one, the AC accelerator challenges, maybe can be useful, interesting for you, because for 2021, the area to be funded will be the strategic digital and health technologies. Its support is its aim is to support startups and small and medium enterprises mainly. But I have to show it because some of you, maybe you are in a startup or are thinking to develop one, and so this could be a nice interesting opportunity to develop your ideas and to further consolidate your company and also to get funding. So. These are the topics. I will more more with deeper explanation. Digital technologies and then devices, methods, systems, as well as working principles, processes, and standards which apply to ICT technology industry, such as advanced high-performance computing, edge computing, quantum technology, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, blockchain, etc., etc. So very broad area in ICT technologies that could be interesting for you. And healthcare technologies, the other area that also is aligned with the topic, is artificial intelligence driven tools for early diagnosis, point of care diagnosis, novel approaches in cell and gene therapy, in particular for cancer, development of new biomarkers, and so on and so forth. I think you will get the presentation so you can have a deeper insight, as you can reflect on the information I try to show you, and try to develop, to check if your research lines, your innovation lines can be a subject of funding in one of these programs. So last here, what I want to show is the absolutely new Digital Euro program, which is not yet open, but is a absolutely new European Union funding program that focuses on bringing digital technology to business, citizens, and public administrations. So there will be 5 key areas in supercomputing, artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, advanced digital skills, and the use of digital technology across the economy and society. And the planned overall budget until 2027 is 7.5 billion euros. This is in parallel to Horizon Europe, is another program which is to be launched for the first time this year. I heard that from the Commission that could be maybe on autumn this year could be launched. It's a complementation of the existing funding programs or the European Union, existing or what will be launching. They will be not launching in the next future, but I think this could be a really very interesting field to get funding from you. This is the distribution of funding in the different 5 areas. You see, 2.2 billion for supercomputing, 2.1 billion for artificial intelligence, 1.6 billion for cybersecurity. here in order to train people 580 million and 1.1 billion for ensuring the wide use of digital technology across economy and society. So as you see, it's really a big big program, and it's a very interesting. I think it could be a very exciting opportunity to get funding. So when it will be launched, I'll show it later on. These are the priorities that has been set for this program in the long future, about long term, so that enabling citizens to access and securely exchange their health data across the European Union, advancing research, personalized medicine, disease prevention for sure, promoting the use of digital tools to empower people to look after their health. And how? By creating the European Health Data Space, and the program, which is short name Digital, will support the use and deployment of artificial intelligence by creating large-scale testing and experimentation facilities in health, and validate state-of-the-art artificial intelligence and robotics technologies in the healthcare domain. The Commission would like to strengthen cybersecurity in health and really work on them, and as well as the creation of a sustainable ecosystem for digital twins in health, the promotion of digital transformation of health and care. So these are the intended schedule from the Commission. To be the first call will be open in the third quarter of this year. That means that in autumn this year should be open. Intended deadline for submission will be then at the end of the year, of this year, but evaluation early next year, and maybe the projects, the funded projects could start on the end of, in 1 year, we can say maybe on December or November of year 2022. So I think that's all I would like to show you. This was a very condensed matter, as you have seen. For sure, I'll be open for your questions right now, and for further questions, there's my email address and also my telephone. But it's better to send me an email, because as you see, I'm in the last time very busy in video conferences and online meetings, and then it's better to reach you whenever I can. So thank you for your attention, and I am open for your questions.
Thank you, Juan. A lot of opportunities are in the horizon, and while we open the floor for questions from everybody, I've got a first question. I was trying to understand. You have presented the Horizon Europe.
Sorry, I have some troubles with sound.
Okay, let's try again. Sorry, a first question before we open. You spoke about the digital program, which is going to be new and to open in autumn, no? What's the difference between Horizon Europe and the digital program? Is Horizon Europe more centered around research, and Digital Europe wants to do pilots and more application implementation, or is there a clear difference if you want to apply to one or the other?
Well, it's what we know right now is absolutely independent from Horizon Europe. So it will run by the other department in the European Commission. I don't remember, it's the DG Connect or something like this. And how it will work, this is still unknown. So we were in 10 days before, we were participating in a webinar by the Commission. It was not clear how it will work for right now. So how it will be funded? Well, there will be a work program, call text, and these areas will be funded, but really we don't know how it will work. So maybe in the next, we would need to know the specific issues in the next weeks, if they try to really have the goal to launch it in autumn. So I'm sorry, but I cannot say because I have not the information.
Thank you. I can see a raised hand. It's bústia compartida.
Hello, Juan. This is me, Aneta. Thank you so much for the nice presentation and information. I would like to ask something more practical, because you already was there and you were there and you can know what Commission really wants from us. And in this term, I would like to ask you if you can give us some tips in the application, the things that you consider are important for the Commission for a successful proposal.
Yeah, thank you for this question, which is very, very important. So when you will apply for funding to a topic, first of all, you have to read and analyze the text very, 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 and several times, very deeply, and to check what the Commission is intending to what is the message of the Commission. Every word in the text is important. So, and if your research line is adapted, okay. If you need some adaptation, please do it. If you have not all the skills, well, this is why it is based on a consortium. You have to work and to with other working teams in research and innovation. So you have to set up a consortium that will then tackle all the issues that this is supposed to be done in this explained in the text topic. Another important issue is that you have to work, when you will prepare your proposal, to work addressing the evaluators, addressing the three criteria that will be used for evaluating your proposal. First of all, excellence criteria, scientific and technological excellence, the soundness of the idea, and so on and so forth. You can find all this information in the participant portal website of the Commission. I can provide you also with this information. The second one will be the impact. It's a very important, the impact for a Commission. In Cluster Health and the Digital Europe program, impact is really critical. What you will develop is intended to have to be useful for something. It's not only knowledge, but also to tackle problems and try to address bottlenecks and to develop solutions for the demanding issues. And last but not least, also the implementation, how you will develop your project, the work packages, the deliverables to it will provide a milestone and so on. So your idea and your proposal should be credible, ambitious, but credible, be realistic. And well, I think these are some hints I would like to say. So
thank you so much. I guess the gender balance as well, the geographical.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Very important.
Exactly. Thank you. There are some novelties in this Horizon Europe program, because sex and gender is very important right now. It's a big issue and should be included and considered in every proposal, not only just like an activity, but all over throughout the proposal should be considered. Moreover, from 2022 and in the future, you need to show that your institution has a gender balance plan. Not for 2021, but in the future, you need to say that this is in place, or it's almost ready in your institutions. So as you see, and also gender and balance is also an issue if there is if proposals are have been scored with the same amount of points, and the decision should take should select which of these proposals should be funded. So maybe those that have been included the gender balance issues better than other ones should get the funding. So as you see, it's very important. Geographical balance is not so important. It depends also from the topic of the topic you are considering. But the most important thing is that the topic is well addressed, and all issues that are that has been explained in the text, in the call text, has been tackled and addressed, and you can provide then a solution for them. So it's a matter of a balance on activities, on objectives, and the time if you could really address all of them.
Thank you. So it seems that gender is now important not only at a participation level, but also at a research level, no? Something to take into account. There is another raised hand, I think, Nicoletta.
Yes, good morning to everyone. Thank you very much for your presentation. It was really interesting. My question is about the national contact point role, because Carme explained that you have this position. And so I would like, if possible, you to explain to us what are the responsibilities, what exactly the role is about, and how someone can become a national contact point. Thank you.
Thank you for your question. It's the first time I get this interesting question. How I am why I am a national contact point? I don't know really. Well, our functions is to give advice to the researchers. Well, I'm a national contact point for the area of health in Spain. So my field of activity is only Spain. And I give advice to researchers in order to explain where are the funding opportunities, also to give advice on the alignment of the ideas to the call text. I make also reviews of the proposals if they wish to. Could do the job of being an evaluator. I disseminate opportunities among the community of our researchers and biomedical issues. So it's like I'm doing right now. So also I have next week Info Day in Barcelona, exactly on Thursday, and so this is that's part of my activities. How can we be national contact point? Well, if you work in an institution that is related to health and is more or less public, well, yes, mainly in a public sector, like an institute, a research institute, or a administration, public administration organization in your country, you can be selected to be a national contact point, but this is a decision that it should be taken for a political basis by your ministries. This is not that you can be a national contact point by you say, well, I would like to be. No, this is a process that should be started by your ministers. It's not bottom up, but it's exactly the contrary.
Thank you. I can see that our chairman has raised his hand, no? Jerome?
Yeah, thank you, Carme. We're a bit short in time, but I have to, well, actually the next chairman will be late. I just received a WhatsApp, so we're not that in a hurry.
Okay.
Yes, I have a couple of questions, which I think is interesting and for the attendees. The first question is, in part of the code that you have shown, I still see that the European Commission says in silico on one hand and artificial intelligence on the other hand. Mm-hmm. So they're just dividing things, which in my opinion is not correct. Everything is in silico, no? And then you have a continuum. Actually, we're working on that concept, no, within the working groups of the Virtual Physiological Human Institute, the Vicina Alliance. So what does it imply, Juan? Do you know what is actually the position of the Commission when they are doing then this kind of difference within the text?
Well, it's difficult to say because I don't know really who or which ones have been implicated in the development of the different topics. So, and which were the advisor for doing it. Well, the only as it is being reflected in the call text, you can for sure combine the both issues if you see that is absolutely connected as both issues, the artificial intelligence in silico. So this should not be a problem when you will participate. But maybe the Commission should get this message that one thing cannot be separated from the other one. It is closely related. And how you can do it? Well, maybe in this open info day in the 2nd of July, which is you can participate and say, okay, and put this question on the floor and say, okay, it's nice, your expectations are beautiful, we are very interested, but please consider that the both things cannot be so easily separated. I guess this is one suggestion, recommendation. Also, when there should be other possibilities to get in touch with the Commission. Why not? Like workshops and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks. Well, I guess this kind of action should be done more at institutional level, not group of persons.
Not only. You can also participate directly as an expert. You are an expert, so you participate there. And the 2nd of July, this open for the day, say, well, this is my opinion. What are your reflections behind this separation? and listen to their opinions, so you can make a short debate.
Yeah, because I know there is a strategy that in AI, and there are a lot of acts that are being now produced by the European Commission. But yes, it's always shocking for me that they make them this difference in the course. Everything is in silico. You're either doing data models or you're doing other kind of models, but in the end, they are computational models.
Yes, I always saw this word in silico in the context when they are this is associated with simulation. Well, maybe they understand that in silico only is for simulation, but they could really explain what they are in the way I'm thinking about this separation.
Yeah, and then the second question is. So in Europe 2020, so all the calls associated with societal challenges were actually very driven towards technology transfer and the creation of business opportunities, even in research and innovation actions, and even when it was not explicitly stated in the text of the calls. So where does Europe Horizon or Horizon Europe, never remember. Where does it stand then with respect to H2020? Have they reinforced then this will of technology transfer in almost all the course then of the new societal challenges, or what has happened? No, because now there is a pathfinder, so actually the structure at large has changed.
Well, I see that the impact has been now in terms of, well, to providing solutions to the markets, we can say like this. It's so important right now that it's disappeared from the text of for every topic, but it's in the introduction of every destination. So impact, what is impact? Is a long-term effect of your solution that are intending to develop. So in every topic you will see outcomes, this is the middle term, and the scope, but the impact is there in every destination. And this for the Commission is in every document, at every level, impact is always an issue. And this is based on the strategic priorities and the reports that have been made from the results that have been analyzed from Horizon 2020. They say that the translation of results to the the use to the use by the end user and in the market has not been really very good. So it's better than in the 7th framework program, but it should be better optimized. So that's why impact and the implication, the work with the private sector, with the industry, with the small and medium enterprise is critical. So I think it's maybe it's diluted in the text, but it's there as a kind of fog that invades everything. It embeds everything.
Okay, thank you. I think that's a very important message, that people are not misled while leading school, especially the most junior of us who are maybe writing then their first projects. And I think that's an important point.
In that line, a very basic question. For those who are new into writing European proposals for collaborative projects, how long before you think, how can you give advice on the time? How long before you should start to work on a idea, on a proposal?
Thank you for this question. Well, we know that is not allowed by the Commission, but we tried also to share on a confidential basis the drafts of the call text. This is not to be done, but we'll do it. But on the under confidentiality basis. So the best thing you will have to start as soon as possible, because time runs very fast. So to set up the consortium is the most challenging thing, as I see as a national contractor. Many times I get this question: how we can get in touch? We can get some partners for our consortium. This is important to do before. If you have the idea of your proposal for your project on a sheet of paper, and then you can distribute activities among potential partners, you can then get in touch with them. This is very important. So you have to well, if you have the call text, the end version of the call text have been published, maybe you can start 2 months before the opening the call should be really the best option, but it's not always possible. For example, if for call 2022, if the opening date is the 6th of October, I think you could start to think about it shortly after your summer holidays. It's the best moment. For the opening date for 2021, which will be in 10 days, so you have to start already. You cannot wait anymore.
Thank you so much. The call will be published on the 21st of June, so you have shared with us a lot of important information, and for those who are interested, looking into your advice, we should start as soon as possible.
Yes, this is my message.
Okay, so thank you. Now we're gonna move then to the first keynote